So Will asked me to talk about Warm Marble, a game that I told him was personal to me and that also explored some aspects of my identity. He was interested in that, so here's a talk about it. I might also talk about Robot Island, another game I made that came out. I made it with Jake Jeffries, Sandra Lands, and Brendan McCracken, and that just came out on Steam and Itch. And it's kind of personal too. Also note, I don't make the most personal games, or the least personal, or the most identity-based. These are just some rando opinions. So, what is the alternative to making a personal game? AAA is far away from what I'm talking about. I'm trying to talk about games that are at least aiming to be meaningful and bespoke in some way, and that at least someone can feel some ownership of, the creator feels some ownership of. So, kind of the opposite maybe would be trying to aim for universality, or maybe the opposite is making something generalized, or more like a fable, or maybe something just completely technical. This kind of game can remind me of a children's book, and there's not really anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to put some hierarchy on things. Just sort of what I'm thinking about. Also, the games I included in the background have a lot of personal touches, so IDK. But what do you do when you want to talk about something you can't talk about, or make a game about it? Sometimes a lot of pressures are on us to just come out and say something, to declare to the world who we are and what we believe. But there's a lot of reasons why people keep things to themselves, why we tie up our own worth in abstraction. And even though we might try our hardest to express ourselves with clarity, we know our work points to something else, maybe things we can't even name yet. Or maybe our particular neurodiversities don't allow us to be clear. In a way, this all seems a bit vague, even possibly elitist, but in an attempt at clarity, I'll put it this way. Sometimes abstraction is a survival strategy. Sometimes subtext is a necessity. I'll also say that I'm pretty impressed with anyone who makes games with any kind of clear intentionality that lasts throughout development. That requires focus that not everyone possesses. This is my game about Bruce Lee called Warm Marble here on the screen. Here is my folder of Bruce Lee pictures. One thing I'll share is the origin story of the name of this game, Warm Marble. It's from a story about Bruce Lee meeting a fan named Anne. This is a quote. Anne approached the young superstar and asked if she could feel his biceps. Sure, Lee responded. It was a request he'd received on numerous occasions. Tensing his arm and inviting her to check it out for herself. My God, she exclaimed, drawing her hand back instantly. It's like feeling warm marble. And here's Robot Island. It's a game where you talk to someone who hates their job. And I wrote the bulk of this game after getting traumatically fired from a shit company. Honestly, I don't know if I gave you any information that's helpful for you during this talk. I'll leave you with this quote from an article I really like. It's called Divest from the Video Games Industry by Marina Kataka. People make their own fun. Wonder is uncorrelated with budget, being strangely specific. has value. Okay.